It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, they've yet to win against this squad this season. 2 games, 2 losses. We'll see if their luck changes tonight. Tonight, 2 teams that crash the glass. Kenny, when you think of the great rebounders in this league, what are some of their key attributes?
Oh, they get that position, and then they hold it. They maintain it. That's the key.
Maintaining the position.
Yes, because you can get pushed under. And if you come down with the rebound yourself, you can't do it, let's say, just tip it out. Great rebounders do that too. They'll just tip it out to the guards, and then we can start the fast break.
What's the key to good rebounding?
You got to assume every shot is going to be missed. And, Ernie, nothing replaces great hustle.
Oh, that's true. That is so true.
I could box you out.
I know you
I would keep you off the glass.
Oh, no question.
Yeah. Kevin Harlan standing by.
You and your 6 rings.
There you go again.
Hi and welcome everyone here on 2K Sports. Can't wait to get some NBA action going. Joined by Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. And with us tonight, the author of the 700-page book of basketball, a must-read, Bill Simmons.
It's great to be here, and everyone wants me to rewrite that book, but I don't have it in me. So much has changed in basketball over the last 9 years. I got to redo my Hall of Fame pyramid, but I can't sit down and do it, Kevin. I think it's going to last.
How long did it take you to write that book?
It was 3 years of my life, and I was younger. Now it would just be coffee all day, trying to stay awake for it.
But a New York Times bestseller for multiple weeks.
It was #1.
Right,
yeah, it was
absolutely.
Great. And it taught me that I knew people love basketball, and I think we've seen this decade as basketball has just blossomed into something much bigger than I think it's ever been. I could tell with the book, people liked it.
The Philadelphia 76ers preparing to defend home court in this Eastern Conference battle. Their last encounter was in Detroit, where they were able to handle the Pistons. That win, of course, breaking the tie in this season series. They lead 2-1.
In the last meeting of these 2 teams, they were really sharp defensively, disrupting the flow of their offense and causing a ton of turnovers.
They wreaked havoc on the defensive end and really held the pace of the game in their favor for the entire game.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, guys, Ben Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football. It may be one reason he's so comfortable attacking defenses and creating. He said, you have to read the defenders, draw them, then get rid of it. Otherwise, you're going to get tackled. Well, that's a foul in the NBA, but I understand his sentiment, guys.
And David, he is not shy about contact at all. Thanks. You know, Bill, the Sixers, they've embraced the symbol of the bell here in Philadelphia, ringing it before big games and after big wins.
What they haven't embraced this year was confetti. Because it came back to haunt them in Game 3.
Shot.
Yeah, the confetti game from the Philly-Boston series. They shoot the confetti, the game's not over, Boston wins in overtime.
Quick
and
breaker.
I promise you will never see confetti at a basketball game in Philadelphia ever again in your life.
So Philadelphia will get the first possession. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. And Detroit looking at who they've got. The big men are Griffin and Drummond. Reggie Jackson out there with Wayne Ellington. And it's Robinson in at the 3 slot. Jackson against Simmons. Rebound by Joel Embiid. Left side, Harris. And no good. And the Pistons now going the other way. And there's the call on Tobias Harris. That's his first foul. Jackson with it. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time.
That's the leadership they're looking for from Jackson. Staying patient, surveying the court, locates the open man.
Here's Embiid. That shot missing. Some solid defense from Robinson. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. The 76ers have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Simmons finds Embiid. And he banks in the layup.
No one rotating over to help on the mismatch. Easy lay-in.
Simmons against Jackson. Shoots from 12. And he hits the jump shot. Jackson's got his first basket. Bill, one shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a three. He's got the pull-up hezzy jumper, as he calls it.
Whoa! Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, whenever Simmons gets a chance to show off his insane jumping skills, he seizes.
That instant replay brought to you by Under Armour Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive the unleashing of chaos that time. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. That one on Embiid. Detroit shooting their first free throws of the game right now. First free throw is good.
A five-star recruit out of high school, Drummond, one of the more talented centers we have in the game.
He's off on the second. 76ers have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Here's Simmons. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
And Simmons is totally comfortable near the rim, using his body well to get the shot he wants.
Jackson kicks to Drummond. Robinson against Butler. Pass to Griffin. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Hammers the alley-oop through.
With the flexibility to adjust at the rim, Drummond can catch the pass almost anywhere and still throw it down.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Pass to Griffin. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Feeds it to Drummond. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession.
And a moment here to look at some of the stats for Harris. He's right around 17 points a night, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he's been putting up points with regularity. I mean, that's what they depend on, his killer instinct on offense.
Well, and we've seen defenses try to adjust, but he has the intelligence along with the talent, just finds new ways to beat them.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Robinson for 3. Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade in those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
Jackson kicks to Ellington. Again, the miss by the Pistons. And Simmons has got the ball here for the Philadelphia 76ers. They lead by 7. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
Yeah, tough place to play on the road, and you just saw how comfortable they were shooting the basketball.
Well, we have to give credit to the coaching staff. Terrific offensive strategy. Got them some great looks.
And a clever pass fake kept the D from closing in. Griffin's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now. And I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how, Paul Pierce, who knew how to handle their business. Now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all. And you had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old,
Polished.
giving, like, you know, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
already good at being a bad interview.
He's
Like, he
19 years
doesn't
old.
say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable. And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Simmons. Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them. And they won the title.
How old were you in 72?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. Was probably the most famous NBA game ever. The kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. But triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
Lure dishes to Smith. Lets it go from deep. Jimmy Butler comes up with the rebound. Philadelphia leading by 8. Here's Simmons. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. 8 points for Ben Simmons.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
So it's the Pistons now. And here's Smith. 14 points from him the last game against New Orleans. And Smith gets double teamed. Pachulia. The shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
As you can imagine, this is where Zaza gets most of his points. Right in that painted area.
Simmons passes to Simmons. To the paint. Johnson, good. And the 76ers lead by 10.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
My opinion, it's been the commitment to pounding the ball inside. That's what's giving them the upper hand.
Here's Kennard. And the rejection by Embiid.
I mean, you can see it. He's way out of sync. It's been this way all quarter for him.
Here's Simmons. Here's Butler. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2. Hey, Bill, watching the evolution of the Sixers team, you know, they've talked about the process. That was how they kind of labeled what they're doing right now, what they have done to get to this point.
The Celtics, I think if you were talking about the process, the Celtics did a better version of it. They built arguably a better base of young players. The biggest thing with Philly was that the Joel Embiid draft was where they got lucky because he was going to be the first pick of that draft. He got hurt in a workout maybe 5 or 6 weeks before the draft, falls to 3. And if that doesn't happen, they don't have the Embiid-Simmons combo. Instead, they have Andrew Wiggins, and we're not deifying Sam Hinkie.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they've got to talk about.
You know, for the most part, their perimeter D is holding up, but they might have to sacrifice some of that to close down the lane.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Marjanovic checked in for Embiid. Mike Scott comes in for Johnson. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Butler. Here's Kennard. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Here's McConnell. Detroit with the rebound. Pachulia has got 4 rebounds now tonight. And Jonathan Simmons gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Pistons trail by 12. Now Smith. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet.
Who's watching here?
To the left side wing. Here's Kennard. Takes the 3. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Now here's Simmons. A 17-point game for him in the win against the Pistons in Detroit.
Also, you have to mention the rebounding, another area where he excelled.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Well, the two go hand in hand. Matching your strategy to your personnel is key.
Kennard's shot is off.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
If you give it to him, he'll take that shot every time down the floor. I'm sure he's kicking himself.
Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree. But for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
Well, you challenge people, which is that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk, and we did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Smith finds Lure, and stolen by McConnell. To the middle, stolen by Lure. Smith outside. The pass to Galloway. Pass to Kennard. Detroit, no good that time either. I want to get back to what we were chatting about, Bill, with how today's NBA players are so media ready, whether it be interviews or social media. Your take is really interesting.
I think in general, all these guys, the guys now are so used to talking to people and being in front of people, and they're not surprised by questions, and they know how to handle themselves. They know how to not get in trouble, and they're comfortable.
Plus, maybe they've kind of grown up with you, though, too. You know what? You've been relevant for many years. Well, they've grown up with your stuff.
To be honest, a lot of them just know me as the white guy on NBA Countdown. They might not have read me, but they remember like that year I was with Jalen Rose. But what's weird is
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, you know this too. When you're on TV, the credibility you get from being on TV, I wasn't prepared for within the NBA.
Oh, really?
I think that's true, yeah. I think it's like, oh, he's on TV, he's okay. And maybe they don't agree with you all the time, but you've passed some imaginary checkpoint with those guys.
Well, you may think that TV was your validation. This is going to be your validation.
Oh, 100%.
2K. This is it. I'm stamping you right now.
This is better than winning a Pulitzer Prize.
Shooting 2.
He's off on the first. And the 76ers making a change here. Harris is checked in. Andre Drummond's checked in for Detroit. Jackson comes in for Ish Smith. And he's good on the second. .112 left in the first quarter of the game. Out to the right wing. Here's Galloway. Guarded by Simmons. Just 5 to shoot with his first shot attempt. And Detroit again with the bucket. 52 seconds left in the first. McConnell kicks to Harris. Buries it from about 10 feet away. And the 76ers lead by 15.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
To the left wing. Here's Kennard. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Kennard's got 8 points.
I can't understand in the midst of a game you leave an elite shooter this wide open.
McConnell kicks to Scott. Passes it to Harris. Outside, Simmons. The 17-footer. The shot off that time.
Yeah, and he had the D tangled up there with that patented crossover. Just couldn't convert the finish.
And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. 76ers lead by 12. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. Jimmy Butler, a hard worker on the floor and off the court as well, possesses a unique individuality.
I worked extremely hard to get where I am today, so whenever you walk to my house, you see a really big, some may call it obnoxious, boombox aquarium, but I love music. I don't really watch too much TV. It's always music, so it's just another thing to remind me, continue to be who you are. It just has fish inside of it.
A boombox aquarium, huh? Points for originality, Greg.
Butler, not shy, breaking from convention, beats to the rhythm of his own drum.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And a comfortable margin here for the 76ers guys.
I tell you, on fire all period long, and this is how you want to start the game.
They build up a monster lead on the heels of great shooting. Love the attack mindset here.
On the court for the Pistons, the athletic front pair is Griffin and Drummond. Wayne Ellington is out there with Jackson, and it's Robinson in at the 3, the small forward. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached the Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward. Kevin?
And continuing the process, D.A., thanks. Back to McConnell. Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well. You know, Bill, when you look at the players the Sixers have put together, they should be a perennial contender, it would seem, on paper for years to come.
But that's the thing about the NBA. You never know.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of these teams that looked like they were the next potential dynasty, and within 2 years, they made a trade. Somebody got hurt. I mean, you talk about the 80s Rockets.
One shot, gentlemen.
You talk about the Magic in the 90s. They made the finals. Within 14 months, that whole team is gone. The OKC Thunder, 2012, Game 5, Miami. I took a picture of KD and Harden and Westbrook with their arms around each other. They never played together again. So I think the thing you learn over and over again with basketball, even Derrick Rose and the Bulls, every time you think there's the next young team that's coming, they still have to actually do it, and sometimes they don't.
And it's sent back by Drummond.
The foot speed to get in position, the quickness of the jump. Drummond with raw talent as a shot blocker. The beauty of the teardrop, very difficult to really contest.
Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. McConnell with it. Here's Marjanovic. And Marjanovic with the slam.
This is where it's important to have guys looking for opportunities. Terrific lead pass.
Well, for Detroit, their last game a loss to New Orleans. Jackson kicks to Robinson. Drummond up top, guarded by Marjanovic. Griffin goes in, can't cash in from close range.
Woo, you know that's one he liked to have that. Point blank range, and he missed it.
McConnell passes to Harris. Misses the three.
Oh, you can tell he's frustrated to get that good of a look from three, and he didn't make it.
Outside for Griffin. Drummond trying to get himself free. The offensive rebound, and stolen by Redick. McConnell in the corner. The feed now to Johnson. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. McConnell's got 3 assists in the game.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Pistons trailed by 14. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And Kevin, he saw his guys just a little sluggish out there. Oftentimes a timeout like this allows you to kind of just reset.
Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Jimmy Butler comes in for T.J. McConnell. Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, you know, it turns out,
they embraced the
yeah,
size.
I think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring on an airplane or whatever they want to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that,
Take a break.
honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Will Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Will Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
You look at the success of Jimmy Butler, the NBA's most improved player in 2015, and continuing to refine his game.
And the second free throw, good. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Left side, Griffin. Back to Jackson. Yes, that goes in.
If you play Reggie to take it all the way, this is what he can do. Quick floater over the top.
And Redick kicks to Butler. Pass to Johnson. That shot is off. And Detroit the other way now. Defeated by the Pelicans in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And unfortunately for them, they just ran into a hot shooting team and really had no answers.
Well, they still should have been more active on defense, giving those guys a run for their money. Obviously, this has been a tough quarter for him, but he's still trying to keep a positive mindset. You know, he had a hot start to this game. He's only gotten hotter. We'll see if the defense makes an adjustment.
Jackson against Redick, and stolen by Drummond. Outside, Robinson. Ellington kicks to Jackson. Outside, Griffin. Five on the clock. The dish to Ellington. There's Jackson with the three. A rebound by Johnson. And so it's Butler with it. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. At one point, they led by 16.
I love how Jimmy Butler let the play develop, how he's learned to trust his vision.
Pistons trail by 13. And J.J. Redick picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Smith checked in for Detroit. Here's Drummond. He had a 24-point outing in their last game against New Orleans.
And he wreaked havoc on defense with 4 steals for the game.
For Detroit, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. And that one misses.
You know, it's interesting. Blake has increased his shooting range, but that hasn't really carried over to the free throw line.
And the Pistons making a change here. Pachulia's checked in. And he ends up missing both free throws.
And they could have used that trying to cut into this league. He's been off all night.
Jackson against Butler. That's good. The Philadelphia lead is cut down now to just 11 on the bucket from Smith.
Unafraid to take it inside. Ish challenging the defender. Comes out a winner.
On the wing, Harris. He dishes it to Johnson. Good. And Harris gets the assist. And that's now 6 points for Johnson.
Up by a bunch. He's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
With this big of a deficit in the score, you think the losing team would be playing harder. Nope, the opposite.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And now a chance to see what's coming up for the Philadelphia 76ers. On Wednesday, they'll host the Brooklyn Nets. And then on Friday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers.
And for that game against the Spurs, it won't be an easy one given it is coming on the back end of a back-to-back, but they've been playing some fantastic basketball lately. And when you are winning back-to-backs, you're feeling good about yourself.
Free throw drops for Griffin.
After having no trips to the free throw line in the first period, he's being much more aggressive now.
Ben Simmons, he's checked in for J.J. Redick. Then for the Pistons, Luke Kennard comes in for Robinson. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jackson. And so he hits both. The 76ers leading by 11. Simmons feeling it out a bit. Dishes to Butler. Back to Simmons. Down low, Griffin with the steal. And they're on the break. Kennard, the pass to Galloway. To the paint, and stolen by Harris. And now Philadelphia on the break. Here's Butler. Blake Griffin pulls it in.
I like the aggressive move on the layup attempt, but the defender, he just stayed right with him.
Unloads from 13, and it's blocked by Simmons.
And don't forget about the long reach that Simmons possesses. He uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with blocks like that.
Embiid dishes to Harris. A second chance effort. No good. Excellent D there from Pachulia. It's stolen by Harris. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Drains the three-pointer. Butler's got 4 this quarter.
I like this for Butler. When he hits the 3 ball, the defense has to play him honest, and that opens up driving lanes.
Oh, Griffin in position, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin was pointing his finger to throw it up way high, and he went got it and dunked it home.
Butler kicks to Simmons. He feeds it to Johnson. Smith with the defensive effort.
Yeah, the aggressive D inside leads to a missed opportunity there.
You know, he had terrific position, does a good job of affecting the shot without fouling.
Inside, and Simmons slams it in.
Just phenomenal timing from Simmons, leaving the ground once the pass was released and tearing that bucket apart.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Smith kicks to Kennard. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Kennard's got 10 points.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Feeds it to Johnson. And there's the pass to Butler. Embiid trying to break loose. Good. And the 76ers lead by 14. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for Detroit. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Julia the pass to Kennard. And it's blocked by Simmons. And he recovers it. Second chance shot. Julia trying to break loose. And the layup is good. 12 points for him.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Especially at that kind of height disadvantage. You're looking to score the ball or at least draw the foul.
And the 76ers decide to take their first timeout here.
And he could tell his guys were dragging a little bit, calling timeout to kind of let them catch their breath.
And the 76ers with some changes. Scott comes in for Amir Johnson. And Simmons subbed in for Harris. Lewis checked in for Detroit. And Simmons kicks to Embiid. 76ers moving the ball around. Yep, that one goes in there. Simmons got 4 points now in the quarter.
I just love the heart of Simmons. Doesn't matter what the D throws his way. He's still able to complete the play.
Pass to Lure. Back to Smith. Now here's Lure. Guarded by Simmons. Out left to the wing. Clock at 6. Releases. No good off the back of the rim.
Well, he was in rhythm, hitting 2 threes in the opening quarter, but hasn't made one since.
And finished off by Scott.
Absolutely the prettiest play in basketball, executed to perfection.
I don't think you'd get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop. Smith outside, passes it to Kennard. Back to Smith. To the wing on the left, Lure. And it's off from three-point range. The 76ers leading by 16. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
And how about a look at Jimmy Butler? He's been dominant over the last month, averaging about 26 points per, almost 3.5 steals and 4 assists. So much of what this team does revolves around his offense.
He stacks up points. Reason why? Because that's his mindset. He wants to carry the load and clearly is successful at it.
And here is Lure. He's still scoreless so far in this one. There's Galloway, defended by Scott. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Now we take a look at the 2K leaderboard to see who the best rebounders in the NBA have been over the last 10 games. Third is Andre Drummond. Fourth, Joel Embiid.
The work this twosome has done on the boards over that period cannot be overlooked. They've both been big factors.
Butler finds Simmons. Calderon against Simmons. Back to Simmons. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got assist number 5 here tonight.
And guys, really admire how Simmons finds the open man consistently. The vision, the unselfishness. That's what you want to see out of him.
There's Galloway. To end the cold streak. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul against Philadelphia.
Nice by Galloway. Understands the situation. Catches the defender a little out of position.
This is his first trip to the line tonight. That free throw good from Galloway.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Galloway hits both of them.
After going undrafted, Langston Galloway in 2015, he was named to the all-rookie second team. It's a terrific story.
Always full of terrific insights. Bill Simmons, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. My insights, thank you as well.
And Smitty, so great to have Bill with us, a guy who's ahead of the curve creatively.
Kevin, he was a pioneer in blogging, Emmy nominated for his work on documentaries. The guy never stops thinking of new ways to produce content.
And Jimmy Butler, something of a quirky character, has a ritual whenever he's at a grocery store of paying the person's bill behind him. Doesn't care if it's 99 cents or 2,000.
Two shots.
That free throw good from Butler. And some changes here for the 76ers. Marjanovic checked in for Joel Embiid. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Jonathan Simmons. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Pistons trail by 16. Jackson kicks to Ellington. Lure, the bounce pass. Here's Drummond. Misses from close range.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
For Philadelphia, they have shot 67% from the line, going 6 of 9.
Take a break. Take a break. Two shots.
He misses the free throw. Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for Langston Galloway. And the second free throw, good. We've got 33 seconds left here in the second. Jackson against Simmons. And Drummond throws it down.
And if you're the defender, you have to respect the ability of Jackson to finish. That opens things up for the assist.
Three-pointer Ellington. The shot is good. And so is his shooting tonight. 3 for 4.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter. And now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
In the corner, Simmons with it. Back to Butler. It could go. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers. Up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Coach, what is your impression of the first half?
I think we played. And I thought we found a really good balance of posting and pace. It's what we've been talking about. And I thought our defense, for the most part, was excellent.
A good start. We'll see how they finish. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. One half down, another half to go. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He had 13 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the 76ers?
I think we really saw the evolution of Jimmy Butler. Over the years, his skills have caught up with his great athleticism in the prime of his career now, making his case as one of the best wings in the game.
Kenny, what'd you think about Detroit?
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
As we return to Philadelphia, we give you a scenic view of the downtown skyline of this terrific city. A stunning sight. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
And I love the game plan in that first half. They really valued each possession.
You know what? It's hard to do. Staying focused and disciplined with your approach.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. Simmons runs the show with Redick at the 2. Embiid is out there with Tobias Harris, and it's Butler in at the 3 spot. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Drummond dishes to Griffin. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Blake Griffin, an all-star for his first 5 seasons in the NBA, but not the last 3. He's still an impact player, though. We'll see if he can crack the roster in the East.
Shooting 2.
And that one misses. Well, as we all know, Blake Griffin, Steve, possessing breathtaking athleticism, but injuries certainly have been a concern.
You're right. A lot of it, just bad luck. A teammate falls on your knee. That kind of thing happens. But his skill level is starting to complement his power. I think he'll be fine.
And he sinks the second. Now Simmons. Outside Butler. Kicks it to Embiid. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Redick with the bucket.
Assertive in the painted area. This is what every coach preaches.
And Ben Simmons picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. So it's Detroit now, trailing by 13. Here's Drummond in the corner. It's Ellington. Outside Griffin. Just 5 on the clock. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
I'm not surprised to see Blake rise up above the defenders and dunk that one.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Harris with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Harris passes to Embiid. Back to Harris. Three-pointer. Butler. Rebound by the Pistons. Pass to Ellington. Here's the teardrop. And the shot goes down. Ellington's got it back down to within single digits for Detroit.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Butler kicks to Harris. Right wing. Embiid against Drummond. Tries it from 9. Here's Butler. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Butler's got 15.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Simmons. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Pistons.
And the one shot they've stayed away from tonight has been that long three. They've been a little more consistent with their shot selection, not launching as many deep threes.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, since the rise of the Warriors, we've seen a fair amount of soul-searching by the league's other contenders. There is incredible pressure to shake things up. Now, sometimes it can elevate a team, but we have often seen it also can tear a team apart.
It can be fragile for sure. David, thank you so much. And Ben Simmons, who missed the first season in the NBA with an injury. Boy, Greg, was he worth the wait.
And you knew he'd be a special kind of player after being taken first overall. But he is so unique in how great of a player he is. His ability to command attention on offense without having a great outside shot really is something you just don't see in today's NBA.
That's good from Simmons.
And the Australian Simmons, a star in the making, folks. Thanks really in part to that tremendous skill set to go along with that gigantic frame.
Good on both. And when it comes to big men who can really handle the basketball, there aren't many of them, but there are a few, and they're pretty good at it, the bigs.
You know, I think the best at this, and we don't consider him a big, but he's close to 7 feet, is Kevin Durant.
Right.
Handling the basketball for a big. DeMarcus Cousins is really good. You look at guys like LaMarcus Aldridge, not bad. Blake Griffin, for his size, being able to handle the basketball. We have so many guys that have that skill set, and they're 6'10" and above.
And that one's good. Drummond.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Jackson against Simmons. Embiid finds Simmons. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
That's good.
No answer for Simmons, a tenacious scorer who finishes with muscle through contact.
Steve, for the Pistons, improving chemistry on and off the court has been a big focus.
Yes, locker room leadership and pieces that fit together on the court. It's about building a team in every sense of the word.
And that one misses. And Andre Drummond, an incredible combination of size and athleticism. Steve, any players that he reminds you of?
You know, a young Dwight Howard. He's also been compared to a more athletic Moses Malone. Drummond's rebounding numbers back that up.
And finished off by Robinson.
You know, Blake Griffin, he gives you a little bit of everything offensively. Terrific court awareness.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Knocks it loose. Griffin with the steal. And it's blocked by Simmons.
Still no rhythm. This may be a time when you want to make the extra pass. Give someone else a chance.
And that one, good.
Yeah, you see the killer instinct. He's going for the death blow.
True story. They've got a monster lead that's taking a life of its own.
Embiid with the steal. And now Philadelphia on the break. That's good from Harris on the assist by Embiid. Embiid's got 3 assists now in this one. outside Griffin. Drummond passes to Jackson. And Ben Simmons picks up the foul. That's his third foul of the game. Steve, more and more we're seeing NBA players speak out on societal issues. Do you think it's gone too far in any way, or do you think it should go even farther?
No, I think players should speak up. I think in all, all our four major sports, in any possible way, I think guys should get a chance to weigh in on what they feel individually. Freedom of speech, and I think our players is just like everybody else. You have freedom of speech. You should be allowed to speak up on issues.
Harris kicks to Johnson. Philadelphia moving the ball around. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Amir Johnson. And that'll be his third foul so far.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Jonathan Simmons is checked in for the 76ers. Pistons trail by 13. The pass to Drummond. Here's Griffin. Basket number 5 goes in. He's now 5 of 12 from the floor. Philadelphia's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. And it's Simmons penetrating. Lays it up and banks it in. Simmons got 18 points in the game.
Yeah, guys, you really can't say enough about Simmons. Bouncing off defenders like it's nothing on his way to the ball.
Here's Simmons. And the shot goes in. 10 points for him.
Creating a size mismatch in close. That's the kind of thing you're working for.
With some arc, count it, and the 76ers lead has been cut back down to 13 with the basket coming from Smith.
Great dribble move by Ish. His ability to alternate speeds, a big part of his success.
Simmons with it. He's picked up by Drummond. Embiid against Smith. Embiid drives in. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
And last year, we saw what a full season of Embiid looks like. I mean, scary to think that this is just the beginning of his career. He looks like he can go down as one of the greats to play if he can stay healthy.
T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Then for the Pistons, Pachulia. He's checked in for Andre Drummond. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jackson. The free throw drops for Embiid. And Embiid has already made the jump from star to superstar.
And part of that is his personality. I think his game does speak for itself. Gives you everything you want from a center on both ends of the floor. Effortless athleticism and has incredible skill and touch for a player his size.
And Smitty, Blake Griffin last season acquired by Detroit at mid-year. How do you like the fit for him with the Pistons?
You know, they needed a playmaker and a shot creator. Also gives them some star power. Putting fans in the seats, that matters.
2 shots.
The first one falls.
Well, he's been at the line so often tonight, but only just now is he starting to look comfortable.
Lewis checked in for the Pistons. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Here's Simmons. He's got 18. Griffin with the steal. And here we go. Griffin heading to the hoop. Here's Galloway, and it's blocked by Simmons. Now, here's McConnell. Johnson, good. And McConnell gets the assist. 8 points for Johnson.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Down low, here's Griffin. Over Simmons. The shot's good from Griffin. Griffin's got 18 points.
I'll tell you, he is scorching the nets this quarter. Maybe that'll help wake up some of his teammates.
And Simmons kicks to Johnson. Up top, Simmons. Pass to Embiid. McConnell in the corner. 6 to shoot. That 3 off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake. Here's Galloway, and it's blocked by Simmons. Smith against Simmons. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Here's Galloway. And it's Lure, top of the key. Smith outside. 6 on the shot clock. Over McConnell. And that's an air ball. Not even close. Simmons against Griffin. And Simmons kicks to Embiid. McConnell in the corner. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Pistons trail by 14. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's where Galloway excels. Better off the catch than initiating.
Now here's Simmons. Defense is right there. He kicks it to Embiid. And too long on the shot.
You know he would like to have that one back. A clear look from the mid-range.
Here's Galloway. And the lead is down inside single digits. Galloway has got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for the Pistons. And Philadelphia calls time here. Well, Steve, when it comes down to how this country is developing young players at the amateur level, do you feel winning is overemphasized in relation to individual skill development?
Yeah, I mean, great question, Kevin. I think in youth basketball right now, youth sports, I think so much now is individually rating individual players that are playing a team sports. I want to see more of rating the team. And I think also guys getting a chance to understand winning is important. A lot of these tournaments, you play 3 or 4 games a day, and it's not so much about winning. I think it has to come down to win or go home. I love that for youth basketball, and then I also love that you're just getting better. And I would love for some of these youth coaches to move these players around. There's a player right now that might be playing the center spot, but let him try to play the guard spot. I think you got to find a way to do that and talk about winning as a team versus individuals.
Smart stuff.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Simmons finds Scott, and the call will be against Langston Galloway. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Ennis. He averages about 5 points a game. Here's Simmons. A beautiful reverse layup. Simmons got 20.
And Simmons is a purebred scorer, a dominant offensive talent who can score in so many ways.
And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Pistons. 7-point differential. Passes to Lure. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
And the technical free throw is good. Here's Pachulia. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Shot clock at 6. Galloway taking his time here. Misses off the left iron.
And battling hard on the glass, they hold the advantage here so far.
Oh, and the jam by Ben Simmons.
And the vertical of Simmons, an extraordinary dunker when given the chance to shine.
Jackson with it. His numbers are looking pretty good. He's got his scoring average up around 18.5 points a game. On the wing, Ellington. Outside Jackson. Tipped away. Outside Simmons. There's the feed to Scott. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got 6 assists now in the game.
This is what it means to be a catalyst. His offense helps set the tone for a lot of what they do.
And here is Ellington. He's got 9. Jackson with it. Outguarded by Simmons. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession. And a look here at the shot chart for Simmons.
And really what jumps out to me about this shot chart is just how aggressive he's been when on the floor. I mean, he's doing everything he can to get as close to the hoop as possible before putting up that shot, and it's worked out in a big way for him and his team.
4 on the shot clock. Lure can't hit. Philadelphia leading by 10. A drive by Scott. It's deflected. Now Ellington. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. To the middle. Scott can't get it to go.
Just great at getting after it defensively, forcing guys into tough shots.
Yeah, to be successful, you've got to protect the paint. He rises to that challenge.
Simmons against Jackson. Here's Galloway. And a miss there on the triple.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Simmons dishes to Scott. And it's Scott with the jam.
Yeah, and guys, with Simmons, you get it all. The shooting, the rebounding, and the passing.
Pistons trail by 12. Now here's Jackson. We've got 13 seconds left to play in the third. Trying to get something going. That shot no good. And so it's Philadelphia enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. Back to the action after this word. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Execution. This is what you practice every day. These guys are professionals. Beautiful play.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. The 76ers leading by 12, and Detroit looking at who they've got. Lure and Drummond together down low. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then it's Robinson, and it's Galloway in at the shooting guard. And for the Pistons, they're shooting in this game 45%. Pass to Lure. Outside Robinson. It's good from long range.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, forcing defenders to come out and guard them, which could open up driving lanes if they want to take advantage of that.
Redick passes to Harris. It's good.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Pistons trail by 13. Right side Jackson kicks it to Lure. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Back to Robinson. 6 to shoot. In the corner, it's Galloway. And that's good. Robinson picking up the assists.
I love the adjustments he's made here in the second half, getting the looks he wants now and shooting a much higher percentage.
And the pass to Simmons. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Count that one. Simmons got 4 points this quarter.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Galloway kicks to Drummond. Here's Galloway. Some solid defense from Harris.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And J.J. Redick, a longtime vet in the NBA, but still plays with a lot of energy.
And Redick said he feels like he's been revitalized in the last few seasons with his change of scenery, playing with more joy, and has always been explosive off the ball in his efforts to get open. You can see when he's on the floor, the whole offense seems to pick up their energy.
The free throw drops for Redick.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Detroit. And good on the second, so he makes them both. You know, Steve, in the NBA, you know exactly how much your peers are making. Do contract numbers ever bring out animosity between players?
Yes, they do, Kevin. I mean,
really?
When you look at some guys, you see those guys starting to say, I'm putting up better stats than him, but he's making more money. And then it becomes the elephant in the room when the guys start to talk about it. They start not passing to each other. Yes, guys do know exactly what other players make, and sometimes there can become some animosity between the two.
Oh, that's
yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
The momentum is building, scoring in a bunch of ways. That's why his number keeps getting called.
Here's Galloway, covered by Redick. Galloway finds Drummond. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Poor timing on that play causes the turnover.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Embiid's checked in. And so it's Butler with it. He'll bring it up for the Philadelphia 76ers. Their next game, playing at home, is the Nets coming to town. And that will be the middle game of this three-game homestand. There's the dish to Embiid. For the three, it's Butler that time on the assist by Embiid. Embiid's got his fourth assist with that last one here tonight. Pistons trail by 20. Jackson passes to Griffin. Shot to stop the run, and the rejection by Embiid.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control. Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, this lead has snowballed. Credit their killer instinct for piling on. The new head coach of Detroit is Dwayne Casey. They're lucky he was available. He guided the Raptors to a franchise best 59 wins last season, and he was the coach of the year.
To the inside, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. And it goes to show you that any coach can get fired. Casey, one of the most successful, highly regarded coaches in the league, and Smitty still got let go.
If you learn about all he's overcome, all the tough jobs he's worked in the past, you knew he'd take it on the chin and keep on trucking.
Shooting two.
That free throw, no good.
Andre Drummond, a prototype athlete at the center position. He checks every box. Leaping ability, lateral mobility, you name it.
He hits the second from the line. And for a man the size of Drummond to move and accelerate, Steve, the way he does, the focus has to be on keeping him healthy.
You know what, Kevin? He's been remarkably durable. Played 81+ games in 4 out of the last 6 seasons. Last year dropped 30 pounds. He's staying lean and mean.
Robinson kicks to Jackson. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
And this is a guy that can get you stops. Aggressive on the defensive end.
Also doing a good job of tracking the ball, contesting the mid-range jumper as well.
Yeah, and in terms of accuracy, they are dominating the second half.
I like that they're trying to maximize the value of each possession, and you know their coach likes it.
He feeds it to Griffin. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
I like that Drummond has become more in control of his offensive game, and the defense is running out of answers.
Now here's Redick. He's guarded closely. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Galloway. He blocks it again.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle. Johnson, he's checked in for Harris. And stolen by Butler. To the middle. Here's Embiid. Johnson at the elbow. Philadelphia moving the ball around. To the paint. Now Detroit moving it up. Jackson's got the ball. Robinson misses. The 76ers leading by 22. Here's Butler. Feeds to Redick. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
We hear the term empty stats every once in a while, Steve, usually referring to great production on a bad team. How valid do you think that theory is?
It is. A lot of guys you see are averaging, these numbers, and players look around, and the players you're saying, unfortunately for him, those numbers are empty stats because there are a lot of times these numbers are found in when the game is decided. And a lot of times on bad teams, you see these guys going for numbers. Then you get a chance to see them play on good teams, and those stats just don't match up.
Good explanation.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Johnson dishes to Simmons. To the middle. Embiid, no good.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
And also protecting the rim at all costs. I love the anticipation to affect the shot.
Detroit with the ball. Jackson with it. He dishes it to Drummond, and it's Drummond with the jam.
Each year he's getting better and better. Drummond with the unstoppable move.
Simmons on the wing, guarded by Jackson. Lobbed up there for Embiid. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. Jackson kicks to Griffin. 2 points. That one goes. Griffin's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
I love the play call, and Blake with the strength, but also the touch to dominate inside.
Simmons against Jackson. The leaner inside. No good from Simmons. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Pistons. And Drummond kicks to Jackson. The NBA is so financially stable right now, Steve. What's it been like watching this growth for the league overall?
I've loved it because I think the partnership has been phenomenal. The league is growing both for players and also organization. They've done a nice job of getting a chance to hammer out some of these issues to making it worthwhile financially for the league and also financially for the players.
Embiid, no good. The Pistons have gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
Butler finds Redick. Pass to Embiid. Clock at 4. Here's Simmons, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That's on Reggie Jackson.
And one difference this have is that when they get to the line, they're converting.
And that one misses.
See, now he's getting defenders back on their heels a little bit, getting to the foul line here in the second half.
Tobias Harris is checked in for Philadelphia. And a switcher also for Detroit. Wayne Ellington's checked in for Langston Galloway. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Pass to Ellington. The tray. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Harris has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Redick for 3. Griffin grabs the board. Griffin's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Robinson down low. Defended by Butler. Robinson misses. Philadelphia's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Simmons passes to Butler. And no good that time. Excellent D that time from Robinson. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his first foul. And the 76ers will go for a different look here. Marjanovic checked in for Joel Embiid. Mike Scott comes in for Harris. Simmons checked in for Butler. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Ben Simmons. Detroit also making some changes. Pachulia, he's checked in for Griffin. Luke Kennard comes in for Robinson. And Smith subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Kennard kicks to Pachulia. Goes up to the stripe. Simmons pulls it in.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Outside, Scott. When you look at today's NBA salaries, Steve, do you feel the responsibility to learn financial management falls mostly on the players, or should the league do even more to help them find out about what they're going to do with all this money?
You know, I think it's the responsibility of both. I think the Players Association, also the NBA, and I think organizations as well. I think you look at it, we're all involved to get a chance to help these youngsters. It's not easy for a 19-year-old, 20-year-old to become a millionaire overnight. That's just not something that you're used to, and handling that, it has been a problem for some players in the past.
Pass to Pachulia. Inside, it's tipped. It's stolen by Marjanovic. And here's McConnell. Outside, Redick. He kicks it to Simmons. Six on the shot clock. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7. Detroit's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. The pass to Pachulia to the paint, and here is Ellington, and stolen by Redick. Scott dishes to Simmons, and he gets it to go. Simmons got 4 points this quarter.
And that's another fast break bucket. And this is the pace, though, guys, that's been working for them.
They are winning the battle in transition. Look for them to keep pushing the tempo.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Philadelphia.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And not only are they on their way to winning this game, this also gives them a win in the season series.
And as one might have guessed coming into this game, it was indeed another big game tonight for Ben Simmons.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Clock running out. Drummond showing some maturity, stays calm, and scores the bucket.
Now, here's McConnell, covered by Smith. Marjanovic finds Redick. There's the lob to the hoop. Marjanovic, no good.
And a little frustration now, missing on the catch and flush.
You know, because it's all about timing, just unable to connect. One of those plays you really want back. Man, he's been on point, not forcing things, getting the most of his looks within the flow.
Now, here's McConnell. Defense right on him. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Jimmy, how confident are you that you guys can build on this win and keep the momentum going?
Very confident. Like I said, we got a great group of guys. If we play together, play hard, we can win.
I know you'll like to keep that going as we go on in the season. Thank you for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.